Hi, hey, hello. How's it going? Hello, everyone, here in Prep 1. This is me, Mr. Ahmed Assam, and we are going to take the Unit 7 Extreme Situations, page 84, Close Up. Survival in the Andes. On Friday, October 13, on the year of 1972, a plane that had been flying from Uruguay to Chile with 45 people on a board crashed into a mountain in the Andes. How some of passengers managed to live is one of the great survival stories. So we will take today how could these passengers, the 45 people on the plane, trying to survive on this crash. 29 people died in the crash. So we have here 29 people died in the crash. And in the weeks following it, on the mountain, it was freezing cold and the survivors stayed inside the crashed plane to stay warm because it's so cold, okay? They had very little food and were in very great danger while they waited for rescue team. So they waited for the team that come to rescue them. After 11 days on the mountain, they found a small radio on the plane and they heard the news that the rescue teams had stopped searching for them. All hope was gone. So all their hope gone away because they heard that the rescue team stopped searching about them. Okay? They were alone and terrified, so scared. Days became weeks. 2 months after the crash, after they had waited for summer to arrive, three of passengers, Roberto Canissa, Nando Pardo, and Antonio Vicentin, left to search for help. So these three passengers, Roberto, Nando, and Antonio, left the train and trying to find any help from others, from anyone that near to the crash. Each man wore 3 pairs of socks with plastic bag round each foot to keep water out, boots, 4 pairs of trousers, and 4 jumpers. Many of the clothes were from the people who had died in the crash. They also took with them a large sleeping bag that they had made. Only they could save the others now. So we have here the rescue team stopped and there is no other way but these passengers that trying to save the other passengers. How did these brave young men cope with the journey? We have here cope with, that means deal with, okay? Starting to get over the crash. None of them had climbed mountain before and it was hard. They climbed very dangerous icy peaks. Peaks that mean the top of the mountain, okay? Trying icy peaks, trying to research for any help. So they trying to reach the top of the mountain. Some days later, exhausted and cold, they reached it. They had imagined this moment for days. On the other side of the mountain, they wanted to see a valley below that would take them out of the mountains. But instead of the valley, they saw more the same snowy peaks. So this is getting make other or make the situation harder. Lots of them they weren't near the end of the mountains. They were in the middle of them. What could they do now? What do you think? If you found at the same of or if you were at the same situation, what would you do? You will stop you will keep being surrounded. What will you do? Okay, so but there was still hope. If you have hope, you will continue your journey. Parado saw two low peaks, about 65 kilometers away, that didn't have snow on them. If they could get there, they would be out of the high Andes. But to reach the peaks, they would need to walk for more days, and they didn't have enough food. But Prado had a situation. He had a solution, sorry. So he had a solution for this problem. He said that, okay, Vincent could return to the plane, and he and Kansia would take his food they agreed on, so he will take the other's food and continue the journey, okay? So they agreed on the plan, and Kansia and Prado continued their journey. But Roberto, okay, so Vincent came back to the plane and the place of the crash. As they walked, the area around them slowly began to change. The men discovered a small river. The sun was warmer, so this is a big good news. After a few days of walking, the snow had disappeared completely, and flowers were everywhere. So this is the valley. Kinesia said excitedly. So said that excitedly. This is the valley. This is the way out. Soon they saw some a few cans, or they saw a few cans on the ground, and some farm animals in a field. They knew there must be people somewhere nearby. On December 21st, after 10 days after the crash, the exhausted men reached the town of Los Matines in Chile, and a rescue team went to save the other passengers high up in the Andes. What had happened to them? Fortunately, they had all survived as they waited for the other to get help. The memories of the crash in the Andes would be with them forever. But their ordeal was over. So, what is the meaning of ordeal? A very painful or difficult thing that happens to you. So he was over. They had made it out alive. So all of them was rescued by only three very courageous men. So, and they started to help others. They agreed on the plane that they had a plan to take the third food and continue the journey. And this was a great one. Now, after reading and understanding the survival and this journey, we will understand the difficult word like peak, the top of a mountain, exhausted, very tired, valley, the area of a low land between mountains, often with a river through it, ordeal, that mean very painful, okay? And now, open page 85. And we will start to answer the question number C, or the letter C. Read the text question below for each and choose the correct answer between A, B, C, or D. What is the writer doing in this text? So he's giving advice on how to survive, or explaining incredibly past events, or showing that the air travel is dangerous, or writing an imaginary or imaginative story. So yes, you are right, it's number B, explaining and starting to speaking about difficult and incredible past events. Number 2, why were the three men disappointed? The view of the mountain were not very good, or they didn't know how to return to the plane, or they realized that they had more problems, or they hadn't brought enough warm clothes. So excellent. The answer it will be number C. They realized that they have more problems about the peaks and about the other mountains, and the journey is longer than they expected. Number 3. Vincent returned to the crash site because he had lost hope. He didn't agree with Parado's solution, or he didn't want to walk any farther, or the last one, there wasn't enough food for the three people. And of course, it's correct one, number D. There wasn't enough food, so they had to take his food and let them came back to the plane. Number 4, Parado and Knessia knew they were close to safety because they saw things that belongs to people, or they discovered a river, or they had been walking for 10 days. There were flowers in the snow. So, of course, they found a cans and something that belongs to people. So the answer will be number A. Which of the best describes what happened to the people on flight 571? The survivors of the crash waited for many weeks in the plane to find the rescue them, or tragically 29 people died. So this is the main point in the passage, or in a terrible situation and with no hope at all, the survivors found a way to save themselves, or to stay warm in the freezing cools. They were the closest of the people who had died in the crash. Of course, it will be number C. In terrible situation, they found hope and continue to save themselves, although the rescue team stopped to search it. The question D, find the meaning of the word below in the text. Then complete the sentences below. You will space the car if you don't know how to drive it properly. So of course it will be crash. You will crash. You will make an accident. It's possible to in the jungle if you know how to find food. So what is the answer? It will be it's possible to survive. Excellent. Number 3. There were many problems and Harry didn't deal with them, and the word that have the same meaning deal, it's cope with. Number 4, they were in the middle of the desert, so nobody couldn't them. So it will be save them. No one couldn't or could save them. After the river, we will rest before we cross the other side. So after we reach the river, we will take a rest and we will have a rest to cross the other side. And the last one, rescue teams will continue for missing mountain climbers. They will continue to search. Thank you, and you have to answer as a homework the workbook page 40, and let's talk about the passage lost in the mountains. So the people also lost it in the mountains. Thank you everyone, and see you next time inshallah, and please study hard and see you there. Bye.